So the game I'm playing today is called Osmos. The premise is quite simple. In this game, you control a mote, or in layman's terms, a cell, and you have to try and absorb other motes in order to become the largest on the field. If that style of gameplay sounds very familiar to you, that's because this game is basically Agar.io, although to call it a clone of Agar.io would be inaccurate. This game actually predates Agar.io by quite a few years, almost 6 to be exact. Agar.io was released in 2015, whereas Osmos made its debut in 2009. This indie game was pretty well received when it first launched. It would go on to win some industry awards, and it also became a finalist in 3 different categories at the 2008 Independent Games Festival. I'm not entirely sure how successful the game actually was, but it did later receive ports on iOS and Android, so I assume there was some demand for it. Now, unlike Agar.io, this is not a multiplayer game. In fact, I don't think this game even has a multiplayer component. It is primarily single player, and I've played it quite a bit off screen. As a matter of fact, I think I beat about half the levels already. It's a fairly short game. There's only about 47 levels. I'm taking that number from the game's official website. And if you have quick reflexes, most of them can be beaten in less than a minute. All of the levels in this game are scattered across 13 different zones, not including the introductory levels. And I've already beaten 8 of those zones, so I made fairly good progress off screen. Thankfully, you can revisit zones you've already completed, so I don't have to reset my progress for this video. Right, so as about we get on with the plot then, we're going to go to the introductory levels just to ease you into the game's main mechanics. So yeah, how about we go and do that first? I think that sounds like a good idea. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, said famously by Sir Isaac Newton. Press the spacebar to continue. I mean, it does play into the main mechanics of the game, so it is kind of important. This is you. You're a cell. Propel yourself to the blue circle and come to a stop. Press space for more. Navigate by aligning the cursor behind you and pressing the left mouse button. So yeah, you have this cursor on screen, and I'm actually glad that it's recording it, because this cursor is important for something. So what you gotta do, in order to move your cell around, is that you place your cursor directly behind the cell right here, in the direction where you want to go, and then you left click. As you can see, it ejects mass, but it's also causing my cell to move along right here, or my mote, if we want to go by its like official term, official definition. So we're just making our mote slide towards this circle right over here, and then we can just move the cursor in front in order to slow it down to try and propel it to the other side. It's the only way you can slow down in this game, because other than that, you have no brakes whatsoever. It's not like Agar.io where your cell just moves automatically. You need to put a little bit more effort into your movement in this game. And then something that it doesn't tell you right here is that you can hold down left click to just constantly eject mass from yourself in order to gain maximum speed, pretty much. But as you can see, every time you do that, you will begin to shrink. So it's kind of like Agar.io in that sense, where you can eject mass, but it causes you to gain speed, whereas in Agar.io, it doesn't allow you to do that. In Agar.io, it's basically used to attack other cells and absorb them, but here it's just to speed yourself up, to propel yourself forward. Also, these giant red motes are the ones that you cannot absorb, otherwise they will just eat you up if you try to go into them. Yeah, so there you go. I just got absorbed by one of them right there. But because I already beat this level before that happened, it won't count as a failure. We're gonna proceed to the next tutorial level right over here. Touch smaller motes to absorb them, avoid larger motes, or be absorbed. So yeah, tutorial's just regurgitating what I already said. So we just go and take these motes over here. So you'll also notice that the motes will actually become blue as you increase in size. The blue ones are the ones that you can absorb. The red ones you just have to avoid. As you increase in size, the red cells will slowly turn blue. In fact, if they have even a small hint of blue in them, then you can absorb them. Also, I don't know about you, but I like to think of all of these motes right here as essentially being parallel universes that are just like attacking each other, like trying to compete for dominance. Because if you look at the motes, it kind of does look like they have stars inside of them. because I know they're supposed to like represent cells, but I always like to think that the inside of these motes right here, like the purple insides, are like various stars and galaxies that are just contained within it, like an actual universe, and these are all just like different universes that are competing with each other for dominance of space. Also, the music in this game is great as well, assuming you like ambient music, which I know is probably not everyone's thing. But anyway, we're gonna go to Ambient Welcome, which I believe is one of the... I think we are still in the tutorial levels, but this is one where you can actually, like, truly begin playing the game. Try zooming out with the mouse wheel or pressing up and down. So yeah, you can zoom out with the mouse wheel, that's self-explanatory. You can zoom out all the way to the point where you can see the entire map, so it's very useful. You definitely want to use that. Well, if you want to see where exactly you are, or if you want a better idea as to where you are. So we're just gonna go and absorb these blue cells over here in order to gain mass. So you'll notice that there's this little meter at the top of the screen. That represents the size of your mote, and you have to get it to that little white mark right there, and once you get it to the white mark, you'll beat the level, as you see right here. However, once you beat a level, you can still keep on messing around. So it doesn't actually end. It doesn't force you to leave and go to the next level as soon as you complete the main objective. What's also interesting is that if I pause the game right here, there's also this option to randomize the level. So if you want to play the same level, but if you're stuck on the current layout and you want to try and create a different layout of the level, then you can use this option right here. So you can pause the game and click on randomized level in order to randomize the positions of the cells. Alternatively, you can press Alt-Z, but that's only really useful if you're stuck on a certain level, like you can't get the layout down at all and you want to try something different. But I do like that though, because it does allow for essentially an endless variety of levels, despite the fact that there's only like 47 programmed into the main game. So then we have level A1-2, which once again is just another very simple level where you're just trying to become the largest you possibly can. The starting levels are fairly straightforward because it's just meant to teach you the game's main mechanics. Although sometimes, like in some levels, the white marker will actually switch positions, which I'm pretty sure it just did. So sometimes you have to get a lot larger in order to actually beat the level. I think that's only if you take too much time. Yeah, so that zone is complete, so then we continue on to the next zone. The next zone that it'll bring us to here is called Force Reception. Once again, the objective here is to just become the biggest. But this one is pretty cool because, as you can see, we are orbiting around what's called an attractor. So the attractor right here is kind of acts like a planet. We're almost like a moon orbiting around it. What we got to do here is that we can change our orbit, we can change our trajectory by moving around right here, like propelling ourselves either left or right. You can also see the orbit changing. Also, I have no idea, but it almost looks like the game's lagging a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Yeah, if the orbit turns red like that, then that means you've effectively knocked yourself out of orbit. You want to change that because that usually spells trouble. Also, something that I could show off as well is that if you right-click, you can slow down time. Yeah, there's kind of like a bullet time mechanic in this game, and I'm not entirely sure why it's there, but it just is. I haven't found any practical use for it, though. You can also press Control right-click to speed up time. Speeding up time is useful in the Force Reception levels, because these levels tend to be the slowest paced out of them all, so you're gonna want to use them for these ones, because sometimes these can take a while, because these ones require a lot of waiting. We're mostly just waiting for some other cells to collide with us right here. Like I was kind of hoping that one would actually come around here. Okay, I don't like the fact that you're orbiting right behind me. I don't like that. Get out of here, please and thank you, because I don't want to collide with you. I do want to try and go a little bit closer to the attractor though, because that's where all the large cells appear to be located. Or I could just go to this one. Okay, yeah. Why is the game moving so slowly? It wasn't doing that when I was playing this off screen. Would you happen to know anything about this OBS? Because I think you might have something to do with it. Gotta try and propel myself outwards here, just a little bit, so I can try to get some of these cells here. Oh god, where the heck did this red one come from? Please, get away from me. Okay, I have to try to fix my orbit here, because on my current trajectory, I'm just gonna end up crashing into the attractor, which I don't want. Try pushing myself outwards so I can get into the path of the larger ones, possibly, maybe, perhaps. Oh god, Why does it look like I'm getting closer to it? Now they're all like flying towards me, so this is a little bit better. All right, here we are. We're getting a little bit better. We're doing it a little bit better this time. All right, we're almost there. Here, I'll just try going out this way, so maybe you can absorb me. Yes, there we are. What the heck? How did I not beat the level? Okay, there we are. Yeah, press Alt-O to enable orbit visualization. So if you don't want the orbits appearing, you can just disable them. Also, that red line over there is not what you want to crash into, because I believe that destroys your cell. Indeed it does. Navigation tip. For quick maneuvers, click several times in rapid succession. Yes, I already knew that. Yeah, what's kind of unfortunate though is that some of these, the beginning of some of these levels will show these tips for how to play the game, but every time you restart a level, you have to look at those tips. You can't skip them. I'm really not sure why. It can be kind of annoying at times. So we have to go and absorb the repulsor. So the repulsor is going to, of course, well, push us back, because it kind of has like its own force field going on. What we gotta do, so we have to become large enough so that we can absorb it. We're so large that all the force that it's exerting upon us won't be enough to actually propel us backwards. That's exactly what we're gonna do right here, right about now. There we go. And now we can pretty much go after it if we want. We can just accelerate a little bit. It's going to try and move away from us, but we got the speed. We got the speed that we need. Oh yeah, I forgot. They can the repulsors can also collide with the motes too. Wait, what is it doing? Is it trying to kill itself? Does it know it has no chance in hell? It's just trying to end itself now? Oh well, I mean you're pretty much trapped, dude. You're pretty much trapped now. Yeah, it did kill itself. Yeah, I guess it saw that it had no chance. You just had no chance, so you might as well have just ended yourself immediately. Now we go on to artificial life. Absorb the ovarium. Press space to continue. You know, this is like one of the very few levels in which you actually absorb a cell like this. Not that many levels where you can actually do this. Oh god, yeah, I forgot. You can just absorb like anything. Yeah, so we have to go absorb the ovarium. The ovarium is kind of intelligent because it moves along on its own, can propel itself forwards and backwards. Yeah, we're gonna go and absorb it. We're gonna try and gain enough size, try to get sizable enough so that we can actually go and get this thing, absorb it quickly. We have to try and become larger than it. That's what I'm trying to say. Good lord. Oh geez, this thing is becoming gigantic. Hang on a second. You gotta go and, well actually, it tries to run away from me. Whenever it does try to run, it ejects mass as well, which I can go and grab. Where are the cells that I can absorb? Jeez, there's not a lot of them, but because they're all getting absorbed by the larger cells. Hang on a second. Go and collect these, however. Yes. Can I go in? Okay, well, that just, okay. If I could stop being redundant with my commentary for a moment, I'm gonna try and restart this here, and no, I just want the speed of the game to be going normally. Here, we're not gonna focus on the ovarium right now. We're just gonna try and focus on getting as large as possible so we can go grab him. We can go and absorb him. We can assimilate him. He'll become us, or we'll absorb him into us. I don't think that's what the word assimilate even means. Whatever. We're gonna go and destroy his face. Even though he has no face. He's a cell, but whatever. We're gonna kill him. We're going to kill him. We are going to eat him alive. And we're gonna become the largest on the planet. Become the largest universe. We're gonna absorb the smaller universes. We gotta grow outwards. Yeah, even the ovarium starts changing color when you increase in size. I mean, you can also use this to increase the size of the other cells. Yeah, you're just trying to go around and make them larger too. Well, I'm just gonna absorb them before you can do that. And now, because you appear to be fairly tiny now, I'm gonna try and see if I can possibly move towards you. Gonna see if I can get some speed. Get the speed that I need so you can like bounce back into me. There we go. There we go. Nice. Okay. Yeah, just telling me you can just slow down time, which I already told you guys you could do like 3 levels prior, so that's not important in the slightest. Well, I mean it is, but I already told you. The game's now telling you, but we don't give a crap about what the game says. I'm the only one you should be listening to. Here, the biophobe. Biophobe is interesting because it almost looks like it has an eye, and its eye does dart around. I think specifically it tries to look at you. Like when it sees you coming, it'll turn its quote-unquote eye around. We have to try and take him over as well. I'm gonna see if I can get these cells before they merge with one another, and then they end up eating me. I want to try and do that before that happens, of course. Yeah, so that's pretty much the entire game other than that, guys. Like I said, the premise is pretty much as similar as Agario. You just have to go around and absorb some cells or motes. I keep calling them cells, but I mean, that's always what I think of whenever I see games like this. Whatever, they are basically cells. It's just like a fancier term for them, essentially. Yeah, but I do like how there is a speed-up function. It can be very useful. Sometimes they can take too long. Are you planning on taking that? No, thank you. I'll just go and take that right from you. Just take that right from you. What exactly are you doing here? Well, you're dead. You had nowhere to run. You had nowhere to run, son. You had nowhere to swim, I guess. I assume we're inside someone's body. I don't know. Congratulations, young Moat. Your training is complete. It's now time for you to choose your own path. Which, I mean, I already did because I have all these levels unlocked from the get-go. And by the get-go, I mean I had played all of these levels off screen and I managed to unlock them so they're all available. Yeah, so we showed off about 4 zones already. So now that we can go anywhere we want, I would actually like to go all the way to A3C over here. This is Antimatter. I already completed this off screen. So this is pretty interesting. It's not going to tell you what exactly this is, because I think it introduces this concept to you in an earlier level. But as you can see, we have these green motes flying around, and these are antimatter. What happens when antimatter collides with normal matter is that it causes both of them to shrink. Essentially, both forms of matter get destroyed, except the largest one is the one that ultimately ends up surviving. So you have to avoid them at all costs, because no matter how large your mote is, collecting antimatter will cause you to shrink. They are bad people, they will hurt you, they will abuse you, and they may possibly murder you. But the same thing could be said for the red motes as well, so you probably don't wanna tussle with them either. So in that case, I guess I'll show off the randomization option right here. So I press Alt-Z, and as you can see, the layout is slightly different. We have a slightly different selection of motes right here. Every time I restart the level by pressing Alt-Z, which is what I'm doing right now, you'll notice that all the motes are different. At least their positions are changing. So if I zoom out over here, so you can see, okay, I didn't want to speed it up. Yeah, so just take note of where all the motes are located. And then when I press Alt-Z again, as you can see, they're all in different positions. But then again, I don't really need to zoom out the map in order to show you that, because you can already notice it just from having the camera zoomed in this much on myself right here. So it's definitely interesting, you know, if you want like a different layout for each level, if you don't want things to start feeling old or stale, want to present yourself a new challenge in pretty much every single level, then you can do that. I don't think it was required, but the fact that it's still in the game anyway, I appreciate that at the very least. They thought this through, clearly. Oh boy, that's not looking good for me. Oh god, I want to go. I would like to go. Well, at least you can see the effects of the antimatter a little bit better. Yeah, see? Everyone is just shrinking down. Everybody's just shrinking down. I do like that too, because when a cell grazes another, they slightly lose some of their mass. I actually really like that, because you can't do that in Agario. When you graze another cell in Agario, it does literally nothing. It's like you have to almost overlap the cell entirely for anything to even happen. Honestly, I think this game is way better than Agario, because the mechanics are clearly a lot more fleshed out. Not to mention the fact that this game does predate Agario by quite a few years. It was the original mitosis-themed puzzle strategy game. Agario is just a poser. It wants to be like Osmos, but it fails miserably in many aspects. Eat me, please. Thank you. Yeah, and you'll also notice that it causes the antimatter to shrink when I crash into it. Whereas if I collided with a red mote, it would actually increase its mass. Yeah, just like that, as you can see. Yeah, this game does follow the laws of physics somewhat. It does have a conservation of momentum, because as I mentioned before, the only way to slow down in this game is to apply backwards force if you're moving in a straight line at like incredibly fast speed. Anyway, this is a survival of the fittest stage right over here, so what you want to do is that there's plenty of ovariums that you have to try and absorb over here. You have to go and absorb them before they get a chance to catch you. Well, actually, I don't think you need to absorb every single one of them. I'm not sure if the ovariums fight with each other. I don't believe they do. I mean, we already beat the level, so we can go and see what happens if we speed this up. Is the ovarium still gonna die anyway, or is it actually gonna possibly find some way to overtake me? I don't think it'd be able to, because because I'm a lot larger than it. Yeah, it's just scared. It's just scared. There we go. Got it. There we go. Maximum mass. Unfortunately, I don't think you get any awards for achieving maximum mass in any of the levels. Absorb the Nemosite. Yeah, so this is a different kind of cell right over here. This one is also weird because it kind of has like an eye, and it is able to absorb other motes just like the other ones. What's interesting is that when it gets close to you, it starts rotating and just spits out mass in all directions. I don't think it does that unless I am larger than it, so I'd have to go and grab some mass here first. Gonna go grab some mass, gotta fatten up a little bit, and then I can go and chase after this Nemosite. Oh my god, how are you so large already? Hello, hi, how are you doing? I mean, he doesn't even try to follow me when he is larger. He just kind of wanders off on his own. I mean, I can zoom out the map. Oh yeah, you're pretty massive, you're a pretty big boy. You're a pretty big boy, aren't you? Well, guess what? I have the power of randomization, so let's see if I can actually do this a little bit better here. Hi, hello. Yeah, there we are. If I can try and get closer to him. Yeah, see? He's just shooting mass off in all directions because he's scared now. He's becoming afraid. You better be afraid. Be incredibly afraid. It almost looks like he just farted that out. You know what's funny? This game is actually supposed to be relaxing. Yeah, another one of these, like, relaxing puzzle games. I'm not sure if I would agree with that this time, though. I wouldn't necessarily say this game's relaxing. Nerve-wracking, maybe, but not relaxing at all. At least not in the harder levels. Oh my god, dude, how are you gaining mass so quickly? You weren't that difficult to take out before. Hello, I see you. Would you like some of my mass? Can I just feed you some of it? You don't seem to care in the slightest. Okay, yeah, you do shift your direction towards the mote that you want to eat. Yeah, but you never gaze at me though. Hang on a second, I'm just gonna try going for it as fast as I can. In a lot of these levels, you are pretty much required to just take your time, but sometimes you just want to go crazy. Yeah, just like to go crazy. Okay, well, if you didn't grab that, then maybe I would have had a chance. As long as you stay close to him when you are larger than him. I mean, he just constantly loses mass because he's panicking. He may be fast and furious, but not fast enough for me. Well, if I didn't bounce into that one. Okay, whatever. There's a much more difficult one right over here. Yeah, we have neophytes, ovariums. Wow, are you serious right now? Here, let me try randomizing that. I don't agree with that garbage in the slightest. Yeah, so now we're just fighting like all sorts of them right over here. Not even sure what's going on. What is happening? Oh good god. Where the hell did that guy even come from? I wasn't even, like, staring at anything. I chose not to. Don't tell me to pay attention. I'll pay attention whenever I want. Okay, it seems like this guy is actually... Yeah, it seems like they actually target me deliberately this time. Oh, good god. You know, there's too much garbage going on over here. I mean, there is this one that I can show you guys. This is a pretty interesting level style. So, speed up time when waiting for impasses to clear. Yes, become huge. So then, as you can see, you have all these cells right over here. None of them move, though. So what you have to do is that you gotta try and find a path through the disaster over here. Find a path through the debris. But this is one of the stages, or one of the kinds of stages, where you can really see the effects of the randomization. So as you can see, the entire layout is just changing. See, this is what I mean though. It's like you can't skip the tutorial tips before the stage loads. It doesn't give you the option to do that. I even checked in visual options. There's no option to disable that. Try force ascension here. I'm not sure if I should try this because I mean these ones were pretty laggy the last time. Yeah, but you can zoom out here. Oh yeah, this zoom out right here, like at the very beginning of the level, is automatic and you can't change it, and I hate it. Yeah, so there we go. You get a better idea as to what exactly you're working with. Maybe it's like asteroids. We're all just asteroids caught in this giant attractor's orbit, this black hole. Oh god, I just saw like a big boy. I saw a big boy over there. I saw a big guy. Hang on a second. I want to go over here. Wait, guys. Crash into me, please. I just like to get this over and done with. Okay, what exactly am I doing to my trajectory? I mean, I know exactly what I'm doing. I want to get these motes here, for goodness sakes. I can fix this though. If I just get enough speed, then I believe I can fix this. Oh god. If I can try and like grab you somehow though, maybe I can. Oh well, hang on. Well, I don't know about that guy. Maybe it'd be best if I don't go towards you. But what about these guys? That'd be pretty good. Okay, what exactly is gonna happen here? Give me some large ones, please. Like, send me close to one of them. Actually, it looks like the larger one is gone now. Okay, very nice. They're all just No. The other guy's not gone. He's still hanging around. He's still loitering. He's still loitering around the field here. Okay, I think the larger ones are starting to move towards me now, so how about I go out this way? Just a little bit. There we go. Everyone's colliding with me now. Very nice indeed. Very good. Okay, yeah, here comes the larger clusters. Oh god, that's the big guy. Oh yeah, he's orbiting like around the edge of the attractor. If I could just stay away from that point, unless I can get large enough in order to absorb him, which I may be able to do. I just gotta wait. I just gotta wait for him to give me the go. Gotta wait for the signal. When he turns blue, that's when I go for him. I think my orbit is getting a little bit too large here. Okay, grab you, please. Grab you, please. Just slow down a little bit. Is he still not red yet? Or blue, I should say? No, he's not. Well, that may not matter in the long run, because I'm about to beat the level anyway. Please and thank you, there we go. My orbit is still stable at the very least. Not sending myself into death. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get him like that, because he's not changing color. He's not changing color at all, and I already beat the level anyway. No, really? Still absolutely nothing? Well, let's see if I can try doing this. Can I get a better idea as to where my orbit's actually going if I do this? It is also possible to absorb the attractors if you're large enough. I think there is one level in particular where you have to do that. Here we go, gaining on him. Wait, I need to like move towards the attractor. Move my orbit towards it. Excuse me, I would like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. Oh, wait. Ooh, actually, this is pretty cool, because this is also something you can do. You can throw everything out of orbit. Yeah, because I think if you feed the attractor too much, it essentially becomes a black hole, and it just sucks everything towards it. That's not really what I did right here. I just pretty much threw everything out of its orbit, and now the entire thing is just going extremely violent. There is an achievement you can get for doing that on 2-3, though. Like Force Ascension 3. It grows to such a large size that everything just collapses. Oh my god, am I gonna be able to do it? Okay, well, it's not worth the risk right now. Yeah, move towards all of you guys right over here. Okay, did my orbit remain stable? Yes, it is. As long as it's gray, then that means it's stable. How large is the attractor anyway? Oh god. Everything's blue now, actually. You can also manually control the flow of time with the mouse wheel. You don't just right-click and control right-click. You can slow it down or speed it up at any time, so you have full control over this game's bullet time mechanic. There we go. Now the attractor is small enough so that we can actually absorb it, and is that what we want to do? Is that exactly what we want to do right now? I mean, I can mess my orbit up so that I fly into it, for sure. Here we go. I mean, I'm still getting even larger. Make the orbit even smaller. Oh, good god. No. Okay, I broke out of my orbit, though, so that's good at least. So, just go and... yeah, there we are. Now I'm the only one left. I'm the only one remaining. Everyone else died? I have complete control of space and time. I now reign as the dominant universe. I was part of a cluster of universes, but they're all dead now. I'm the only one remaining. I got space all to myself now. Who am I kidding? Let me just join the rest of them. There we are. Dead. Now there really is nothing. The level's just completely empty. Can I even, like, zoom back in? No, I guess I can't because I'm dead. I mean, everything's dead. It's just empty now. It's just empty space. Alright, well, I'm gonna leave this video here, guys, because that's all I've wanted to show today. So, that's Osmos. Just a really simple, like, puzzle strategy game. You're controlling a mote, or a cell, whatever the heck you want to call it. You just need to absorb larger motes, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you don't even need to kill all of them. You just grow to a certain size, and that's it. You can just move on to the next level. But I do like the fact that there are different game modes, essentially. You know, the ones where you're fighting computer-controlled modes, the ones where you're effectively navigating a maze, and ones where you're orbiting around what appears to be a gigantic black hole in order to grow large enough to eat the black hole. I do think it would be fair to say that this game was somewhat innovative for its time. I mean, were there any other, like, puzzle games at the time that involved controlling a cell and trying to absorb other cells? Like, was there any other puzzle game based around the concept of mitosis at the time? Because I can't think of any. It also kind of makes me wonder if Agario drew inspiration from this game in particular. Agario and Osmos are the only puzzle games or strategy games that I can think of that are based around this particular concept. And I know that the premise of absorbing other objects to become larger is not unique to Osmos, because I know that games like Katamari Damacy played around with this mechanic as well, and that series predates Osmos by quite quite some time too. I don't know, let me know if there are any other games that are very similar to this, that came out before Osmos and Agario. Of course, this is not a particular genre that I would like to see become too saturated. I think it's a better idea if there's only like 2 or 3 of these kinds of games in existence, so that way it remains unique, it remains its own special thing. It's not ruined by outsiders, or people who just want to try taking advantage of the newest trends. I mean, that's pretty much the reason why I don't play Fortnite or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, because I know that it would probably get me a lot of views because there's some of the hottest games on the entire planet right now, like millions of people playing them, and they're racking up a ton of views and getting people a ton of money on YouTube. And while I don't necessarily hate those games, I'm not the kind of person who likes to follow trends just to get views. I'd rather just do my own thing. I like reviewing retro games and indie games. It's something that I've always been interested in. It's something that I feel personally works best for me and my style of commentary, my style of content, so I'm just gonna stick to it. I'm gonna try and just focus on my own thing and not give too much of a crap about what other people are doing. I'll just focus on my own channel, thank you very much. Anyway, I don't want to go off on another tangent like I normally do, so I'm just going to end the video now. If you guys want to purchase Osmos, links in the description. I've also provided links to the iOS and Android versions as well. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I will see you in the next video I make. Later!